Greg, Elon Musk and several members of his Department of Government Efficiency spoke to Bret Baier from Fox News on Thursday night, explaining the work of DOGE and its goals.
We want to reduce the spending by eliminating waste and fraud, reduce the spending by 15%, which seems really quite achievable. The government is not efficient, and there's a lot of waste and fraud, so we feel confident that a 15% reduction can be done without affecting any of the critical government services.
Musk made it clear his team is exercising a cautious approach to cutting government spending by $4 billion a day.
We want to measure twice, if not thrice, and cut once. Actually, that is our approach. They may characterize it as shooting from the hip, but it is anything but that. Which is not to say that we don't make mistakes. If we were to approach this with the standard of making no mistakes at all, that would be like saying someone in baseball's got to bat 1,000.
Finally, Musk encouraged Americans to grasp the fact that everything DOGE is doing will save them tax dollars while not affecting government services they receive.
And I think it might be the biggest revolution in government since the original revolution. But at the end of the day, America is going to be in much better shape. America will be solvent. The critical programs that people depend upon will work, and it's going to be a fantastic future.
It's what you call trimming the fat. Let's bring in Convention of States Action President Mark Meckler. Mark, last night's interview on Fox News with Elon Musk and the DOGE team was mind-blowing. Listen to one more example of government waste of your tax dollars from Anthony Armstrong.
You've got overstaffing. A good example of overstaffing would be the IRS has got 1,400 people who are dedicated to provisioning laptops and cell phones. So if you join the IRS, you get a laptop and a cell phone, you're provisioned.
Mark, you heard that correctly. 1,400 employees whose only job was to hand out laptops and cell phones. What were those IRS employees doing on the days when there were no new staff members?
They were probably working from home and doing absolutely nothing, not working at all. He went on to do the calculation. It was an incredible interview. And he said that if each of those employees gave out 2 items a day, they could re-provision the entire IRS every single month. And so this is just straight up fraud. These people didn't have legitimate jobs. They were just fleecing the American taxpayer.
Vice President J.D. Vance delivered remarks today at the United States Military Academy at Patuxent Space Base in Greenland. Vance made it clear why Greenland is important.
We know that Russia and China and other nations are taking an extraordinary interest in Arctic passageways, in Arctic naval routes, and indeed in the minerals of the Arctic territories. We need to ensure that America is leading in the Arctic, because we know that if America doesn't, other nations will fill the gap where we fall behind.
Vance accused Denmark of failing Greenland by not keeping pace with military spending to keep it safe. He also pointed out the aggressive encroachment of both Russia and China. Vance noted that Russia and China were doing what they thought was in the best interests of their countries, and the United States must do the same. He was asked if military force would be used to take over Greenland. The vice president said he believed Greenland's self-determination would rule and the Greenlanders would choose the security umbrella of the United States.
You know, we hear so much about media content created for children that it is intended more to indoctrinate them about topics that conservatives, especially Christians, do not approve of. But actor, author, and producer Kirk just released a new wholesome program that's worth taking a look at.
Have you ever been angry at a friend? Sometimes we have to learn who to trust. I wonder what Iggy's up to.
Hey, Iggy! Iggy, the nice, likable green iguana.
That father of 6 says he isn't trying to win a culture war, but instead provide a children's television show filled with puppets, songs, and Bible-based lessons on identity, forgiveness, and courage.
Sing and praise.
I think I should go ask God for forgiveness and tell my sister the truth.
Got to appreciate Kirk Cameron. You can watch this and more wholesome programs for the family at braveplus.com. Greg?
In less than a year, singer-songwriter John Cahn's romantic relationship ended. His mother died, and his dad needed major surgery. He also lost his home in the Palisades, California wildfires.
I didn't know there was more I could lose. Up in the sky, I could only see blue.
Faith and God were never part of Kahn's upbringing, but he is behind the Trump-inspired #1 Billboard hit song Fighter and discovered faith later in life. His recent release is called Fingerprints.
Even in the darkness, I can see you got your fingerprints on me.
Kahn told Breitbart News that if he had not started going to church and talking to others about God and faith, he would not be handling these tough experiences with the peace that he has. We pray that his faith continues to strengthen and grow. Before we go.